Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Hour 2, Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Half that work week officially in the rearview mirror. We are now working towards the weekend. No football in South Louisiana from an LSU and Saints perspective this weekend. You got Tigers on a bye week, Saints out in L.A. It's going to be good weather. So looking forward to a little weekend in the fall here in South Louisiana. And we'll get to Sunday where the Saints will travel to L.A. And that's where I want to start hour 2. I want to be very clear here. This is an exciting Sunday for Saints fans. It really is. This is something that Saints fans have looked forward to for a few years. And this is something really that Saints fans have looked forward to for a couple of generations. Now, it's not quite to the level of when you take a quarterback first overall, you take a quarterback third overall, you trade up to the 5th spot in the draft and take one of those guys that won a Heisman Trophy. It's not that. It's the Saints version of that, though, because they haven't done this. And when Drew Brees was signed, yeah, he's a new quarterback, and yeah, that is exciting to an extent, but he's a little undersized. He was okay in San Diego at the time. I couldn't even get that right in my brain because they've moved. He was okay in San Diego at the time. He's coming off that bad injury. You've got a new coach. Could you have really had a ton of optimism about what Drew Brees was going to be right out of the chute? No one in their wildest dreams could have imagined what was coming there. But ultimately, the root of this discussion is you've got a chance for this to be the next guy. You've got a chance. And when Derek Carr comes back for his 3rd year, that's not going to be the guy. He might win you some games here or there. He's better than some undrafted rookie you chuck out there, but he's not. He's got a ceiling on what he's going to be. Right now, as you sit here, there's not a huge ceiling on what Tyler Shough could be. Derek Carr had been in the league for a decade. Tyler Shough just thrown a few passes in the NFL. So Sunday, you have the hope, is something new, something exciting, and something that brings a lot of great things for a long period of time. Every NFL team is searching for that quarterback until they find it. And you can point to any team across the league, and I would submit that if you're just Joe Saints fan, if you are heavily involved in the NFL, which is awesome, then you probably don't fit into this category I'm about to bring up. But if you're just Joe Saints fan, you watch the Saints on Sundays, you watch the late game in the background, you've got the Sunday night game on, and you're paying attention a little bit while you're getting things prepared for dinner. And you're a Saints fan that watches a little NFL, not an NFL sicko. But I could still name any team in the NFL, and you would be able to immediately tell.
We're working on getting Hunt back on. His microphone accidentally fell out, but it's good. Piggyback off that. We just need hope, Hunt. That's all we need. Just a little hope, man. That's all Saints fans are asking for is a little hope. We're good.
That was impressive.
Hey, man, I got
such a good monologue there, and then you knocked the microphone off. That's all right. I know where I was. I can get right back to it.
Let's go.
You can tell where any NFL team is in their quarterback journey right that second. I can name the Chicago Bears. Right where they are. I can tell you this Arizona Cardinals. You know exactly where they are in their quarterback deal. Jacksonville, same. You just know. And the Saints are in the worst spot in the league, I would argue. But that could change in the next 10 weeks. That can change in 10 weeks. Now, we've talked about this. The odds are that it doesn't. That's what the odds suggest. That has nothing to do with Tyler Shough and everything to do with most NFL quarterbacks don't work out. A lot of first-round picks don't work out. Now, you're married to those guys for a while, but most quarterbacks don't work out. And then when it does, then you've got it for 10 years a lot of times. And so what you're looking at on Sunday is an opportunity for the fortunes of the franchise to change. And that's very exciting. Yesterday on the show, I talked about how this is a terrible matchup. This is not the spot I would make the change. The Rams chewed up and spit out Jacksonville last week, 35-7. They chewed up and spit out a backup quarterback with the Ravens, 17-3. They've allowed 10 points in their last 2 games. So it's a bad matchup, but the excitement is there. And so for me, that's what I'm going to focus on. My expectations are low. My expectation is that it's going to be a really bumpy Sunday for the Saints offense. You've got an offensive line that is not blocking. You've got wide receivers that are not catching the football. You've got a running game that has been inconsistent, sometimes good, sometimes not, sometimes abandoned. And you've got a defense that's getting gashed. It's not a good ecosystem for a starting quarterback. And that's something that we can get into this game preview on Thursday, get into this game preview on Friday, look at when we see this game on Sunday. But the fact of the matter is that I'm choosing today to look at this and go, okay, you're turning over a new leaf that you hope is something that is a big, big change in this organization. Tyler Shough has a lot of things that you really like. He's got some things like the old Bill Parcells quarterback thing. He wants somebody that's big, that's physical, that started a lot in college. And now the whole world's different from an NFL quarterback perspective than when Bill Parcells said that. And most quarterbacks are really good athletes. Shough can move a little bit. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not going to go play Major League Baseball and go play in the NFL. But he's a good athlete. He's got enough arm. He played a ton of college football. He's not young or inexperienced. He is mature. And he's not being thrust into something that he's completely unprepared for early in the season. He's seen NFL game weeks. He's seen NFL game days. He's listened to NFL play calls and halftime adjustments and all those types of things. You've given him a little time to season. Now he's going to have an opportunity to go out there and play. And like for the purposes of this segment, like that is an eye-opening and exciting thing. Because if you can get the quarterback right, you can put things around it. If you can, and you're talking about a rookie deal here that's very inexpensive. So pie in the sky, eternal optimist, but being truthful, like this could be a start of something great in New Orleans. Could be that Spencer Rattler's the starter in a month because things are just awful. I'm not sitting here trying to preach complete empty positivity. I know what the risks are, but you also have to acknowledge what the upside is. And you've finally taken a quarterback early, and if you can get that right, it's not like having, an all-world running back whose shelf life may only be 4 or 5 years. It's getting a quarterback whose shelf life is like 10 or 12. And then you start to build the pieces around it. And eventually you have to pay the quarterback, and that's a decision you really hope you have to make. But Sunday's a big deal for the Saints organization. And I'm going into it with low expectations because Tyler Shough goes out there and goes 17-31 for 160 and a pick, that doesn't mean he's a bust. This is a Rams defense that's nasty and a Saints offense that's not very good. But if you see a spark, if you see something that gives you positivity, it's that high you're chasing of thinking, all right, we got the guy. And there are organizations that do it better than most. Green Bay does it better than all of them. But there are also organizations that really struggle to figure it out. Cincinnati, Buffalo. And they did. And things go right really quickly. So, again, I wanted to spend today's show, today's Saints segment, today's monologue on New Orleans in a positive frame of mind of like, okay, let's turn this leaf over. Let's see what it looks like. And guess what? You also have a little something in your back pocket here. If you want to, this is a positive segment, still a positive segment. But if you want to go with an insurance policy, call up the Howard Insurance Group, insurance policy here. The insurance policy you have, and what is insurance for? It's for a catastrophe. If there's a catastrophe here, and you've got 8 games of Spencer Rattler and 9 games of Tyler Shough, and both are awful, and you win 2 games, what's your insurance policy? You pick first in the draft. So at this point, it's really tough to be cranky. If Shough wins 5 games and pulls you out of the top 8 in the draft, well, that's good. If Shough wins 1 game and is not any good, well, here you are at the top of the draft. So at this point, it's relatively easy to choose to be excited with the one caveat I understand and I'm not oblivious to. I understand those that hate the general manager and think nothing's going to change until he's gone. I get it. I'm not talking about Mickey today. We're talking about Shough. We're talking about the quarterback. If he's good, that's good. If he's bad, there might be some good in that. But at least you're going to find out one way or another as you move forward with Tyler Shough as the quarterback. So positive Saints thoughts today. They're 1-7, I know. They're playing the Rams on the road. They're a 2-touchdown underdog, I know. But there's positives on both sides if you want to look at them. That's our look at the New Orleans Saints here on this Wednesday. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. When we come back, JD Pickell, host of The Hard Count on 3 Sports, next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning, remodeling bathrooms and closets. David Duvall's been at it 3 decades. You can trust him. You can trust him with your bathrooms. You can trust him with your closets. You can actually trust him with both at one time. If you got one of those bathrooms that's got the stand-in shower and also has that big jacuzzi tub, a lot of folks don't use that jacuzzi tub. Instead, they take that stand-in shower out. They put a linen closet right there. David can customize that however you'd like. And they take that space where that big jacuzzi's been occupying, and they put a walk-in shower right there that's got more room. Gorgeous, functional, customized. All of those can be done with One Bath and Closets. He's licensed, bonded, insured, been doing this for 3 decades, and he's got a master plumber on site so that they can handle all of your projects right there at One Bath and Closets. Get that free consultation at One Bath and Closets today. They're online at onebathandclosets.com. It's David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. Onebathandclosets.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Well, it is October the 29th, and I've got people tweeting at me with FlightAware stuff. So that's where we are with LSU football currently. Everyone's convinced that Saban's plane is in Baton Rouge. I'm not paying attention to that. Let's see if JD Pickell is paying attention to that. He's the host of The Hard Count on 3 Sports with us every single Wednesday. Is it FlightAware season in your world yet, or is that just us down here?
Yeah, not yet over here, but it's definitely make them say no season over here, which is fun. Like, hey, call Urban Meyer, make him say no. And so that's kind of a fun part of the world to be in right now. But tracking flights is, I feel like, something we usually have reserved historically for like late November, early December. So the fact that it's already hit your part of the world is obviously not where we thought we'd be in the preseason, but nonetheless, with college football in 2025, it seems. Good to talk to you, man.
What happened to the Tigers this year? Because you picked them to win the national championship, silly you.
Yeah, what an idiot. What does this guy know? Are you kidding me? Get him off the airwaves, Hunt. I mean, how long do you have? There's a lot. So, see, I'll just start by saying this. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying I was wrong about Brian Kelly, I was way off about Brian Kelly, and it's like, yeah, everyone was off about Brian Kelly, but like I don't apologize at all for thinking he was going to work at LSU. Like I don't apologize for a second because it all made complete sense, and it still makes complete sense. It's just the fact of the matter is that the guy seemingly, based on everything we're hearing now, took his hands off the wheel in Baton Rouge and wasn't able to get a talented roster to play well together and play well enough to go, win the level they expect to win at. And so, I don't think I don't buy. You have a better gauge on this than me, Hunt. I don't buy into the idea that the fake accent stuff and the cringy social media stuff is the reason why he wasn't successful at LSU. Like it probably sped up the process as to, hey, you're not really one of us. We don't really want to hang around with you right now. That probably is true. But I think he got fired because he wasn't winning football games. And that's a whole deep dive we can do. But at the end of the day, Didn't feel like LSU was playing for Brian Kelly. Didn't feel like there was good cohesion across the board roster-wise, and also the offensive line was just not very good. So there's a number of factors there that combined to a $53 million buyout in the conversation we're having now.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation's been rampant down here, as you can imagine. I choose to go with the stuff I know as opposed to the speculation. I choose to go with I know who he hired. I know what the product on the field looked like, and none of that appeared to be good enough to me. I'm very skeptical of the golf course talk. I've talked to people about that and don't think it's necessarily true. I don't know anything about the beach, and I don't know anything about when he showed up to the office or when he left and all that kind of stuff. But they seem to be recruiting pretty well. They played pretty good defense early in the season against some struggling offenses, and it just all fell apart when they played some better teams. What did you see on Saturday night?
On Saturday night, I saw a crescendo of the problems that we've really seen since, what would you say, Ole Miss is kind of the first time it really became an issue. I know there was like signs throughout the year, but that offensive line and the way they got done up against Vanderbilt, to me, was a big concern heading into this game for A&M. A&M was getting pressure, as you saw, Hunt, with like 4 dudes. So there wasn't anything extra exotic. They weren't bringing the house. It was, we got 4 guys that are making your 5 guys a life and a place that you would like to forget right now in this current game we're in. And that's kind of the nature of the beast here when it comes to what LSU is doing on the offensive side. There's no push. There was no physicality. There was no nothing. And then on the defensive side, just didn't have an answer for Marcel Reed, which, I don't want to be Captain Obvious here as we're talking ball on this fine Wednesday afternoon, but like legitimately what he was able to do, even when LSU was right, they were wrong because of the way that he was able to make plays out of structure. And there was no like LSU like attitude, if that makes sense. Like there's no persona that we come to know LSU by on that side of the football. There was no pride. There was no aggression. It was shocking to me to see that because we saw it against Clemson. We saw it at different points throughout the year, but maybe what weeks on the field was the difference. Maybe it's the discussions internal just kind of felt like a sour situation. I don't know all the inner workings, but I do know Marcel Reed had his way, and it seemed like there was no reaction that was suitable to take care of him on the defense side of the football when it comes to trying to get him on the ground.
Who do you think the best team in the SEC is?
I think it's A&M. I really do, and I know Bama's an answer that would probably serve well in that question. I know Ole Miss looked awesome, but I'm so impressed by the ability for Texas A&M to reset. Like for them to have the punt block, to have 2 picks in the first half, to be down at half, to be at that place at night, and all those things, and then to just reset without a hitch, without having those negative plays become a thing for them in the second half. That to me just said so much about what they are psychologically, which has kind of been the hang up for A&M in previous years, as you well know, Hunt. So I think it's the persona, it's the personnel, it's all those things. I think A&M is the best team in the SEC right now.
What do you make of Ole Miss?
I think Ole Miss, the thing that scares me with Ole Miss if I have to play them down the stretch here is Lane Kiffin has proven with a Division II quarterback, he's not playing like a D2 quarterback, but he is able to score points. He doesn't care who you are. Could be Kirby Smart and Glenn Schumann at your place. Could be Brent Venables at his place. It does not matter. And so if I am drafting game planners for one game, Lane Kiffin might be my number 1 overall pick just because of what he's been able to do and almost play chess to the next level when it comes to lining up against Oklahoma and waiting until they get within 15 seconds of the play clock so they can't read the signs. And just all like the next level stuff that he's able to do, in addition to just drawing a good picture offensively and able to get guys the ball in space. I think Ole Miss and the offensive firepower they have right now, they can score with anybody in college football.
Do you think he's going to be the Ole Miss coach next year?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I don't think that the Ole Miss job in a vacuum is a better job than Florida or LSU. I think that the Ole Miss job right now is a better job for Lane Kiffin because of the way he has it humming, because of what he gets that he asks for, personnel-wise and resource-wise. And I think he's at a place, too, which hearing him talk and seeing him tweet, which is, not an exact science, but doesn't he just kind of seem like a guy that's happy where he's at and is content with where he's at? He talked a lot in his documentary about, wanting to have a statue in front of a stadium and be the youngest head coach and do X, Y, and Z, and just kind of cooling off of that idea a little bit here as he's gotten older and maybe just progressed in his own career and gone through some things. all of that talk paired with the fact that, hey, if you keep doing what you're doing at Ole Miss right now, you'll get a statue. I don't know why he would leave Ole Miss outside of the appeal for a logo, and maybe they'd throw too much money at him to where he just can't say no. But I think he's going to stay at Ole Miss personally, Hunt.
All right, let's talk about games coming up this weekend. Vanderbilt at Texas. I guess nobody's really doubting Vanderbilt anymore at this point. Do you feel like they're going to go down there and win? They're an underdog.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Nobody's doubting Vanderbilt except for me, Hunt. Because I keep saying every week, I'm like talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm like, Vanderbilt's good. They're good not just for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's having a great year. They're a top 10 team. Give me LSU. Give me Missouri. I'm saying it again this week. Give me Texas. So I'll take Texas to win. I think the personnel is too good. I think the spot's a little bit weird for Vandy. I think Texas finds a way to get them. But if I'm wrong about Vandy, there'd be nothing there.
Miami at SMU. Hurricanes 2-1 in the league. SMU is 3-1 in the league. Rhett Lashley's name's getting talked about a little bit for other jobs. It's an early game in Dallas. What do you think about that one?
I think the spot here for Miami is interesting because end of last year, Hunt, they were in this exact same spot. Like, they were undefeated. They were a college football playoff team in everyone's mind, and then they lost 2 of their last 3. I think evaluating the professional mindset of this team down the stretch is something to keep an eye on. For me personally, I think that all the portal pieces they have and being able to make that work here down the stretch and keep everyone locked in is something to keep an eye on. I think they'll actually be able to respond the right way from that loss to Louisville a couple of weeks ago. I think they've reset well against Stanford. I think they'll reset well on the road against SMU. And I don't have a lot of confidence in SMU to match the physicality, at least on the offensive side of the ball, with what Miami's bringing to the table there. So if Kevin Jennings pulled the rabbit out of the hat, I don't think it'd be the most surprising thing in the world, but I think SMU falls at home. Miami wins, Miami covers.
Couple of P4 teams that are undefeated in the league will go on the road this week. Georgia Tech's headed to NC State, who's just 4-4, 1-3 in the league, but that's only a 5.5-point spread. And Cincinnati is going to Utah to play a 3-2 Utah team in the Big 12. What do you think about those two teams and their chances that it could be upset?
I think Cincinnati's going to win that football game. First of all, what was the other game you mentioned? I didn't hear the first.
Georgia Tech at NC State.
Georgia Tech. I don't know what to make of Georgia Tech, Hunt. I think we talked about it last week, but they're just laboring through the schedule. So I think Georgia Tech wins. I think Cincinnati wins, but I think that the whole deal with the way that Brent Keys calls the show and the line of scrimmage and all those things, like they have things that feel like they're going to travel. So as long as Haynes King is able to stay alive the rest of this season, I think they'll be a team that's in the ACC title game and in the college football playoff. And I think Cincy this weekend is going to announce themselves as a Big 12 title contending team and potentially a playoff team by that margin.
Last one, Oklahoma at Tennessee. Josh Heupel hosting his alma mater this time instead of going there. Ball's 3.5-point favorite, kind of good on good with Tennessee offense and Oklahoma defense. What you think?
I think that the Oklahoma offense, if you were looking for a secondary to get right against, seeing a team in Tennessee that's given up 281 a game is probably a sight for sore eyes. I just think that Ole Miss maybe exposed some things last weekend against Oklahoma and how to get the ball out against pressure and all those things. I think it's high scoring, but I think that Tennessee is going to ultimately just have too much in the tank offensively. If Oklahoma's going to win this game, it's going to take something we haven't seen from them against the Power 4 team on the offensive side. The most they've scored against anybody this year with the Power 4 logo has been 26. So if 26 is the number to beat for Tennessee, I think that we have a good day at the office and we protect home field with those dark mode uniforms on their bodies too. The little blackout unis protect Tennessee. I think that's something that looks good and plays good and feels good for Tennessee after a win.
All right, I'm getting back to watching airplanes, so I'll let you know how that goes, and we'll talk next week.
Hey, good country song there too.
That is.
Not a bad one. Appreciate you, brother. Best of luck. Hey, keep fighting the good fight, all right? Keep fighting the good fight. We'll get through this together. I'm in the foxhole with you, brother.
We'll do what we can. He's JD Pickell. It's the Hard Count on 3 Sports. Check out his YouTube channel there on the On 3 YouTube channel, wherever you find your podcast. The Hard Count. JD Pickell is with us on Wednesdays. We will step aside when we come back. SEC Football Power Rankings. Where are the Tigers? It's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Renaissance, built by Renaissance.com, Renaissance Homes and Pools. Too late now to get into the pool for the summertime. We're now fully into the fall, but The folks at Renaissance Homes and Pools want to help you get into the pool of your dreams for next spring and summer. Whether you're looking for a big pool with rock features and slides, all that, they can handle it. Just want a little cocktail pool as you enter your retirement years, you can do that as well. Want one for the grandkids, want sunbathing area, they can do that. Customized, whatever you like. And you can do that with the folks at Renaissance Homes and Pools. Joey Blanchard is awesome. He is local. He's the owner of the company, and he's going to be with you every step of the way. That's what you love about working with small local businesses. He's helped dozens and dozens and dozens of families get the pool and outdoor entertaining area, kitchen of their dreams. He can do it with you. Sit down with him, have the consultation, go through the design phase, go through the digging of the pool, pouring of the pool, finishing of the pool, and right there with a local company every step of the way. It's Renaissance Homes and Pools. Just look at some pictures of their awesome work, builtbyrenaissance.com. You can also fill out the Contact Us page right there. They'll reach out to you. Start that process now so you can get into the pool of your dreams for the spring of 2026. It's Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Been a busy Wednesday show. Ed Ogeron tossed his name in the ring for LSU's head coaching opening and answered a question about whether or not he'd be open to a return as an assistant for Lane Kiffin. Talked about that at the top of the show. You can also find that at Hunt on LSU, wherever you find your podcast, wherever you find us on YouTube as well. Talked about Tyler Shough and opportunity for him to turn over a new leaf in the Saints franchise coming up. You can find that at Hunt on Saints. Right now, bottom of hour number 2 on Wednesday. That means it's time for SEC football power rankings.
Hunt's SEC power rankings.
Texas A&M! I moved the Aggies back into the top spot this week. I just saw it from my own eyes. It was good. I think Alabama's very good as well. But Texas A&M has been volleyballing back and forth with Bama. The defense is ferocious up front. Marcel Reed's playing great. I realize he did turn the ball over twice against LSU, but one of those was not necessarily his fault. It was a great play by Delane. Bad throw in the end zone, but they're good. They run the ball. They stop the run. Their defense is a little concerning, but Elko's good coach, and they're phenomenal on third down. So I got the Aggies number 1.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Tide bumps back to number 2. They struggled a little bit with South Carolina, but they still got a quarterback that's playing really well. Their defense has been good enough at times. I think they can run it. I think they get a little bit too cute trying to go ahead and put the left tackle at running back, but I think Alabama's very good, and I think they've got a chance to win the whole thing.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia's kind of sneaking around the chicken coop here, a little bit lying in the weeds, a little bit below the radar at this point. They've still got just one loss. I think they're pretty good, but nobody's really talking about them. I think they're third best in the league.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
I still think Ole Miss's team was better last year than it is this year. But they're good enough to beat LSU. They're good enough to go on the road and play right there with Georgia. They're good enough to go punk Oklahoma in the second half. It's a good team. Trinidad Chambliss has become the fit there at quarterback. That's a solid squad, and I think they're going 11-1, and that's may not be good enough to get them to the SEC championship game, but it's plenty enough to get them in the playoff.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
This is a high water mark for the Vanderbilt Commodores. They beat Missouri last week, and now I've got them up at number 5. It's a gritty offense. It's a gritty defense. They do what they want to do. They keep scores low. I don't think they're a national championship contender, but I think they're good. I got them 5th.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
I backed the Sooners up to 6. I think they probably could be lower than this, quite frankly, but it wasn't like they got blown out by Ole Miss. They were in the game into the fourth quarter. They took a lead in the fourth quarter, and then they couldn't hold it. So I think Mateer's okay. I think the defense is pretty good, but I take Lane Kiffin over just about any defense in college football at this point. OU probably not going to the playoff, but they're good.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
These teams play each other this week. We'll kind of find out. They both got 2 losses in the conference, so kind of a tiebreaker there. Tennessee really can throw it. Their defense is okay. They don't run it as good as they did last year, but I like the Vols.
The Missouri Tigers.
Missouri, I've got to back up here. Now without Bo Pribula, probably for the rest of the regular season. That's a big deal. Hopefully he comes back. It sounds like they got some good injury news on Sunday into Monday, but still he's going to miss some time. They don't ever win the big game. Like, they're in the big game. They play with Alabama, okay. They play with Vanderbilt, okay. I mean, you beat Auburn, whatever. But it's just they don't win enough. So they're right there at the bottom of the top half of the league at 8.
The LSU Tigers.
I mean, I don't know. I got them at 9. Is that too high? It might be. The defense isn't what we thought. The offense ran the ball in the first half against A&M and then quit trying to run the ball. They don't make big plays as a wide receiver. The quarterback hadn't been very good. Maybe this is way too high, but there's significant flaws the rest of the way, so it is what it is.
The Auburn Tigers.
Well, Auburn looks better when they take Jackson Arnold out of the game. They played good in the second half against a bad Arkansas defense. I don't know if it's worth of being 10th, but like I don't have any more good teams. I'm out of good teams to put in the power rankings when I get to this part. So Auburn has a pretty good defense. They've played everybody tough. They just lose a lot. So I got them at 10.
The Texas Longhorns.
I mean, how much credit am I giving for going to Starkville and falling down 17 in the second half? I mean, they won the game. That's nice. Arch threw for a lot of yards. That's nice. But you should have lost. So I can't move you up. You just are what you are. You're 11.
The Florida Gators.
This is best of the worst territory down here. Like, Florida's defensive front is still good. Jaden Ball is still good. DJ Lagway's okay. They don't have a coach. Like, do I think they're going to win another game? They might, but it's just not a very good team.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
I mean, just perpetual losers. I probably should have put Mississippi State above them. They haven't won anything. They lost. They had a lead against Auburn and then couldn't hold it at home. They're playing hard. They do score some points. 13th.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
I mean, yeah, you led by 17. You led by 17 points against Texas. You were scoring points. You looked like a good offense against a very talented defense. And then you got a lead. You're in your own stadium, and you pee down your leg. I don't know what else to tell you. You're not good. You're in 14th.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
I mean, you fought hard. Again, I feel like I'm a dismissive step-parent or something. Like, I just can't give a lot of love to these teams that choke every week. South Carolina, you're right there. You got an 8-point lead. You're late in the ball game. Get one stop. They didn't even think about getting a stop. They went right down the field, got the 2-point conversion, and stopped and went right down the field and scored. Forget it.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
How is Mark Stoops still employed? How? On what level is he still employed? They never win. 0 for a million. It's basketball season. Nobody's even paying attention. Fire the man. Give him his buyout. Let him go. Going to be a big Christmas in the Stoops house, but they're not winning a league game, so they're 16th. Those are your SEC football power rankings. Texas A&M 1, Alabama 2, Georgia in the 3 spot, then Ole Miss. Those are my 4 playoff teams from the SEC. A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. Then you got right on the outside Vanderbilt and Oklahoma 5-6. Tennessee is 7th. Missouri is 8th. LSU there at 9th, and the rest of these teams, including LSU, not very good. Auburn 10th, Texas 11th, Florida 12th. Got Arkansas 13th, Mississippi State coming in 14th, and on South Carolina 15th. Kentucky at 16th. That's your look at your SEC football power rankings. Jordan, you have any significant issues with what I've done here?
I'm not a fan of Oklahoma being so high. I just don't see it at all with Oklahoma, even though it's necessarily not high because they're 6 out of 16.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma.
I mean, they've played 2 good teams and they've lost.
John Mateer.
Lost to Texas. He was hurt. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Is he still hurt? I don't know. Is Nussmeier hurt? I don't know. Once I get past 5, I'm going to give Vandy credit. Give Vandy credit. They played well.
Yeah.
Their one loss is in Tuscaloosa, and they were in the game. They turned it over in the red zone twice. Beyond that, I got real problems with everybody 6 through 16.
Yeah.
And it's just
yeah.
I mean, can I make a case LSU should be 12th? Sure.
Yes, you could.
I could. But LSU also handled Florida and handled South Carolina, and handled who's the other team they handled?
In the SEC?
Oh, that's it?
I'm about to say that's about it.
Whoops.
Other than Clemson.
That's disappointing. Yeah, Clemson counts.
I'm about to say that's it.
Whatever. I mean, did you sense in my? I didn't even mean to feel apathetic in those power rankings, but that's just kind of where I was. That's the point. Like, that's where we're sitting here tracking airplanes to see if Saban's in town.
And
I'm writing stories about who's not going to be the coach.
Yeah.
You got a game to play against Bama next week. There are times where at this point in this bye week, halfway through the week, I'm already like trying to stay. I'm diving into Bama prep. And this week's like, no one even talks about us LSU playing Bama.
And it's crazy because I actually feel I know you don't feel the same way, but I feel very, very confident about the interim boost against Bama. I feel confident. I feel so I haven't felt this confident since Clemson week 1. Like, I was like, no, we're going to beat Clemson. I feel confident. Well, you know what? I'm going to retract a little bit. I'm going to come back. We'll cover. Whatever the spread will be, LSU will cover.
Here's what you'll get out of me on that. My confidence level right now, none. Blowout, awful.
Oh, no.
Give me Bama minus a 5.5 all day long. The Lionel Richie sing it to me all night long. Next Friday, I'll do my show.
Yes.
I'll head home. Probably going to cook something up for dinner. I might have a couple of Flight by Yinglings.
Should.
I might have a couple scotches. You don't know. I'm on the couch. The kids are in bed.
You work hard.
Scotch number 2, I might start thinking, we get a couple turnovers.
It could,
You never know. We could go to Tuscaloosa. Could play them tough. That'll be the first time I have confidence with LSU against Alabama. It'll be 4 drinks in next Friday. And then I'll wake up and they'll shake the cobwebs and I'll go, well, that was stupid. No. But that's the confidence. That's the only confidence you're going to get out of me for LSU going to Tuscaloosa. The way that defense is playing, the way that offense is playing.
Yeah. And look, and when you be logical with it, I have no rebuttal. All right, if we want to be logical, yes, Alabama's better at every aspect of the game than LSU. But just something about you're back against the wall, you're a wounded animal, you're going into enemy lines. You got Frank Wilson's going to fire him up. We know Brian Kelly ain't going to fire him up. Frank Wilson's going to fire him up. That first quarter, I can't tell you what the second, third, or fourth going to look like, but that first quarter, they're going to be flying around. It's going to be hot. They're going to be hot.
They played them tough. What year they had no business going there and doing anything? 2021. Yeah. Ogeron had been fired. And they went out there they played. I mean, Max had a chance with one ball to the end zone to give LSU a lead in that game. I mean, but look, my confidence right now, not looking good.
Look, again, logically, yes, I totally agree with you, but just something about that interim boost, man. I seen Rizzy. I seen the Rizzy magic.
Those Friday night cocktails, though, they're powerful beasts. They can get you feeling like, I think we got these guys. And then you wake up and you're like, what was that? That was wrong. Let's come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge, genesisofbatonrouge.com. America's best warranty comes with every new Genesis purchase. You can get that 10-year powertrain warranty, 100,000 miles, that new vehicle bumper-to-bumper warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles. Nobody likes car issues. Nobody likes when that light comes on or you got to deal with that maintenance. But with that America's best warranty at Genesis of Baton Rouge, that 5 year, $60,000 bumper-to-bumper warranty is going to help you out and give you the peace of mind to know you're not going to be breaking the bank, fix a car issue. You've got 24/7 roadside assistance, 5 years unlimited miles. You got complimentary scheduled valet maintenance for 3 years, 36,000 miles. This is as good as it gets. It's part of the Genesis experience. It's a luxury brand at a reasonable price. So go by and see them, Airline at Pickell. Amazing facility, amazing people, and an amazing line of vehicles at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Find them online, genesisofbatonrouge.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com, built by Renaissance.com. This is one of those deals that I don't have any information other than the quote and no time at all to get into it. Matt will certainly do a lot more on this between 3 and 6 this evening. But Jeff Landry, governor of Louisiana, is at a press conference right now, and there is a quote that has been now typed and tweeted by various people in media, Jeff Palermo, Glenn Gilbo, various people. So this is not something that's fake. If multiple people are saying he said it in a press conference, he said it. Scott Woodward will not be hiring LSU's next head football coach. That is directly from the governor's mouth. So that, to me, tells you everything you need to know about Scott Woodward's future at LSU. If the athletic director is not hiring the football coach, the athletic director is not going to be employed very much longer. Like that, I don't know any way to say it more clearly. So if the governor comes out and says he's not hiring the football coach, then, I mean, it would blow my mind if the board of supervisors chose a football coach and they just kept the athletic director there to wear a sport coat at the football game. I don't know. That seems to me to be the most important job of the athletic director. So the first part of that is factual. Jeff Landry said that Scott Woodward's not hiring the football coach. The second part is me editorializing. That means Scott Woodward is not going to be here very much longer. If I'm wrong on that, I will gladly come to the microphone and go, yeah, I was wrong about that. I just took that out of context and didn't understand actually what the governor was saying. But it seems pretty clear to me. And again, I have 3 minutes left in the show. So I can't expound on that or give any more color to it. I like Scott Woodward. I think Scott Woodward's done a lot of really good things at LSU. But it's obvious what's happening here with the governor, with the Board of Supervisors, with the new president selection coming here very shortly. And then the quote we just heard, Jeff Landry say, Scott Woodward will not be hiring the next football coach. It's pretty clear here. So a massive, massive shift is afoot here at LSU with the administration, athletically, and with the next football coach and the hierarchy over there. So here we are in Baton Rouge. Got some take it or leave it, Jordan?
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Flight by Yingling, next generation of light beer. Looking to throw back a couple of cold ones. Nothing better, more delicious than Flight by Yingling. Only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories only. It's everything you're looking for in the light beer, but it's got that great flavor that you're looking for as well from America's oldest brewery. It's Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
All right, we're going to come in hot with this one. Willie Green will be fired next week. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave it. They're going to fire him at 0-7.
Yes,
it's
get him out.
7 games. Well, then why did he start the season?
You're saying the right questions. I've been asking the same thing since April. So, yeah, no, get him out of here. What's that TikTok? Lock him up. Let's get him out of here.
Don't have TikTok.
Oh, well,
I'm on TikTok. I get some views on TikTok, I'm told, by the Spazzali ladies, but I don't know anything about it.
Get him out of here. All right, next. Will Harlem Berry and Caden Durham will each have over 10 carries versus Bama. Take it or leave it.
Take it.
Oh, yeah. I'll take it.
I'm going to write a story about that tomorrow morning for LouisianaSports.net. The only thing that I have gleaned of football substance from Frank Wilson's 2 meetings with the media, he certainly talks about galvanizing the team. That's very important with the fragile nature of losing a coach. He's talked about the roles of each staffer, and that's changed on offense a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you've got the love that he has for LSU and all that. None of that's material on the field. He has said with a smile on his face, we're going to run the ball. Yeah. And he's the running back coach. He will still determine who is going to play at running back, and you're going to see Harlem Berry get absolutely 10 touches in Tuscaloosa after what we saw in the first half against A&M, and I think Caden Durham will as well. So I'm all in on that. They're gonna run the ball a lot in Tuscaloosa. I don't know how well they're going to run it. Those are two very different things.
Yeah.
But they're going to run it a lot.
All right. Is the Texas A&M fan base more annoying than Vol Nation? Take it or leave it.
Vol Nation?
Vol Nation, Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, take it. A&M is more annoying to me. I'll take it. I don't know any Tennessee fans, and they sing Rocky Top a lot, which is goofy. But
I also think they're the pinnacle of baseball.
Well, they know that's not true. That's just ridiculous. Rocky Talk's good twice. It's bad 38 times they do it. A&M just got way too much going on with all that stuff. That's not even close to me.
All right. Ooh, we got one from Cassie over here. Did Landry Kiffin cause LSU's downfall? Take it or leave it.
I'm gonna leave it. I don't know that she got in there and infiltrated for Lane and destroyed the program. I just think it's two young folks in love. What a beautiful thing, and the LSU football team not as beautiful as that currently. So not gonna rag Landry too much. Her dad's in a good spot. Her dad's gonna get a lot of money, and I think Landry's gonna inherit a lot of money one day. But I don't think she infiltrated the LSU football program and brought it down from within.
I'm just saying, we were fine before they announced they were dating.
I think there are ulterior motives going on over there. I can't speak to that directly, but I just feel like there might be something disingenuous coming there. So we'll just leave it at that, huh?
Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. And that's it for Take It or Leave It.
All right, good deal. That's it for our Wednesday show. News of the day, obviously, that I had no time to talk about, is that Jeff Landry has said Scott Woodward will not make this hire. Matt, I'm certain, is going to spend a lot of time on that, and he's coming up. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. I will write that up at louisianasports.net, and then we'll certainly talk about it tomorrow. But there's a huge shift coming with LSU's athletic program and certainly with the football program, and that was made abundantly clear a very, very short time ago. So here we go. We'll see how that all shakes out, and we'll be covering it every step of the way at louisianasports.net and right here. Missed any of today's show? Catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Heard something from Ed Ogeron. So you want to come back? We'll see if the Board of Supervisors hires him. I'm out of here. Matt's going to drive you home on After Further Review. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, for a Thursday edition of The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.